should rise highest? The man of the moment, Karu Matoma. Excited were you that our boy Matoma can once again be the difference?
Karu, I know you watch. Be careful.
What else can we say about him? He is just formidable for us. He's indispensable, right?
They're just literally always like praying. He's on his knees, and Matoma just scoots past him, and he's just like, just clutching over there. It's just like, wow, this guy can do anything. But yeah, he's just such an exciting player. He's a joy to watch, and Crystal Palace beware.
皆さんこんにちは。いつもたくさんご視聴いただきありがとうございます。特にボーンマス戦の三笘選手を評価する現地のサポーターのパート1からパート6の動画にたくさんの方が視聴いただきありがとうございます。本当に、心から感謝しています。で、今回も750ライクでクリスタルパラス対ブライトンのレビュー動画をアップロードしますので、その動画には試合後のインタビューであったり、あとは現地のサポーターが三笘選手を評価する動画を訳してアップロードしますので、たくさんの高評価をよろしくお願いいたします。こちらはプレビュー動画になりますので、クリスタルパラス戦のスコア予想をこの下のコメント欄に書いていただければと思います。ゴールスコアラープラススコア予想を当てた方にはスポーツフリークのオリジナルステッカーをプレゼントしますので、たくさんのスコア予想をお待ちしております。今現在のスコア予想ランキングはこちらになりますが、皆さんに毎回リマインドしてますが、4点差以上のスコア予想を当てた方には2ポイントとしてカウントしますので、まだまだ誰にでも1位になれる可能性はあります。今現在はドワンテさんと HKR さんが9ポイントで1位になっているんですけれども、まだまだ6月まではたくさん試合ありますし、6月に1位になった方にはユニフォームをプレゼントします。そしてこちらは4日前に開業したネットショップになりますが、このスポーツフリークの YouTube の動画の下に概要欄のまた下にそのネットショップの、売られている商品がありますので、少しだけでも興味ある方は、ぜひネットショップを見ていただければと思います。こちらがその T シャツであったりそのスウェットに、あるそのデザインなんですけれども、もし興味ある方は、ぜひそのスポーツフリークのショップを、見ていただければと思います。こちらは YouTube コミュニティに投げかけたアンケートになります。その結果は、こちらになります。そして今回訳した動画の後にクリスタルパラス戦の、プレビューについて話しますので、スタメン予想であったりスコア予想、今後のブライトンの日程、プレミアリーグの順位であったり、過去の、この2チームの、対戦についても話しますので、一番最後まで見ていただければと思います。
He puts in a delightful cross, and who should rise highest? The man of the moment, Karu Matoma, who scored a really good header. He's moving backwards. It was just superb, and the ball finds the back of the net. Finally, after 87 minutes, there's finally a breakthrough. How excited were you that our boy Matoma can once again be the difference?
I mean, I don't know what more we can say about him at this point. He's just so unbelievably good. When it happened, I just had a massive coughing fit, so I couldn't really celebrate it that much. But I was like, yeah, bah, yeah, bah. But yeah, it was so amazing. Like you said, that took a lot of skill, especially because he's not, a tall guy or anything. But to get above everybody else and just, tap that home, wonderful. But the only thing I worry about with Karu Matoma is one day he's going to run so much celebrating he's going to injure himself because he's always falling over or something like that. So, Karu, I know you watch. Be careful.
Yeah, he gets mobbed quite a bit. Who did you pick out as your man of the match in that rather scrappy affair with Bournemouth?
Kind of a tricky one. I think it'd be kind of obvious to give it to Matoma.
I was just going to say about Matoma. I thought Matoma, and Roberto De Zerbi said this after the game as well, I don't think Matoma had a particularly fantastic game. Don't get me wrong. He was the match winner and the game changer, 100%. And it's like De Zerbi said, you can't sub him off. But to be honest, he was quite quiet. And I do think that was because, as Chloe alluded to earlier, he was playing quite far back. And then when he did push forward, Bournemouth were doubling up on him. So that was my you go.
Well, I was going to say I would have to give it to Purvis. I think
I am. I'm very smug. I'm very happy right now. I'm not going to lie. I'm very, very happy. Matoma's magic once again, the cherry on the sundae, and
Karu Matoma. I think that's his 6th goal in his past 9 games, 5 in 7. Just a real quick thing. I just saw on Garth Crooks' Team of the Week. Matoma was chosen, but he said that he's the most exciting player that he's seen in the Brighton shirt since a young Peter Ward burst onto the scene in the 1970s. nearly 50 years ago.
That's a claim. That's a big, bold claim.
Your take on the Magic Man, Mitoma?
He's just what else can we say about him? He is just formidable for us. He's indispensable right now. And like you say, like, was it five goals in his last 7 games is a ridiculous form that, you know, you associate with some of the elite players. This is a guy with a PhD in dribbling, and
I'm not sure PhD. I think maybe undergraduate.
A thesis or dissertation, or I mean, he should have a PhD. We should call him Dr. Mitoma, because what he's doing on the pitch is just it's mind-boggling. It's so good how he contributes to the team, and not just in a one-dimensional way. It's an all-round team performance from him, supporting on the wings, helping the attackers out. And if we lose the ball, he's tracking back. He's got everything about him that you just want for in a basic player, and he's got the attitude for it, and he's willing to just get himself in those positions, take the risks, and I mean,
what a header!
What a header! Oh. I wouldn't expect a header from a player of Mitoma's caliber. You don't really see that, but it was just the connection was perfect. The ball from Samiento, it was sublime. And for Mitoma to get the head and turn it in from the angle he attempted to head the ball anyway was fantastic as well.
I think he scored a fantastic header against Wolves in that 3-2 win, and that was like, oh wow, I didn't know he could do that, and he's just backed up again. I also love the fact that, you know, because Bournemouth were doubling up on him a number of times during the game, and when he did get the ball, so often he was sort of actually turning, he was facing towards sort of Brighton's goal. He was having to pick the ball up in difficult positions where he couldn't really attack. And then, you know, it was only, I think, later in the first half that he was actually able to run at Bournemouth's defence. And I think now his particular dribble, I can't quite remember which Bournemouth player is against, but there's a photo of him. They're just literally almost like praying. He's on his knees, and Mitoma just scoots past him, and he's just like, just clutching over there. It's just like, wow, this guy can do anything. But but just for his goal, what I liked was that obviously he was you know, he was having success down the left, but it wasn't something wasn't quite being able to stick. But what I liked is that, you know, he gave the ball to Sarmiento, and then instead of just like maybe being an overlapping player, he was like, no, I'm going to go into the box. I'm going to, you know, take this game by the scruff of the neck and try to do something myself. And for the winger to pop up like that shows a lot about his quality and caliber. After the game, Roberto De Zerbi said this: Mitoma didn't play the best game of his life, but he can always score. I can never substitute him because I felt during the game he could score. So he's undroppable because he's that good. And he also actually said that he might have to raise the target of goals that he set. He and Mitoma got, I think, 10 goals. Then I think De Zerbi would take them out for dinner or vice versa, whatever. But I think De Zerbi he actually said he might have to up that for Mitoma, because I think Mitoma is now on 7 goals for the season. So the scoring rate he's in, he could, you know, get to that by the end of February. So, but yeah, he's just such an exciting player. He's a joy to watch, and Crystal Palace beware.
こちらがクリスタルパラス戦で予想されているフォーメーションになります。ブライトンに関してはいつも通りのフォーメーションで、カイセドとマカリスターがスタートから出るというふうに、こちらでは予想されているんですけれども、あとはいつも通りのフォーメーションで、ファーガソンがセンターフォワードで戻ってくる可能性もあります。で、クリスタルパラスに関しては、以前訳した動画でも出ていたように、ザハ選手が怪我しているので、彼はこの試合では出場しないんですけれども、フォワードには元セルティックのエドワードがプレーします。で、こちらが過去の対戦になりますが、クリスタルパラスが4勝、ブライトン3勝、6回引き分けています。で、特にここ最近の対戦では 1-1 の引き分けが多くて、2021年では、ブライトンのホームでは2対1で、クリスタルパラスが勝っています。クリスタルパラスは、ブライトンのホームでは、すごく強いです。逆にクリスタルパラスのホームでは、2回連続で 1-1 で引き分けています。こちらが最近のフォームになりますが、まずは、 ホームのクリスタルパレスから見ていきたいと思いますが、なんとこの5試合で3敗していて2回しか引き分けることはできていないです。ただし、ホームではニューキャッスルであったりマンチェスターユナイテッドに引き分けている、軽く見てはいけない相手だと思います。でブライトンに関してなんですけども、ずっと連勝が続いていって、レスターのホームで2対2で引き分けたんですけど、その後、リバープールとボーンマスをホームで下しました。今回のスポーツフリークのスコア予想は 1-1 です。もちろんこれはダービーになりますので、クリスタルパラスも何としてでも負けたくない試合になりますので、ライトにとっては緊迫した難しい試合にないようになると思いますので、1-1を予想しています。で、こちらが今後のブライトの日程になりますが、次節がフラムで、その次の週にはニューキャッスル戦の試合が予定されてたんですけど、こちらは延期となりました。3週間後には FA カップのストークシティとの試合があって、4週間後にはウエストハムをホームで迎えます。プレミアリーグの順位になります。ブライトンは勝ち点34で、トテナムが勝ち点39です。ただし、ブライトンは2試合少ないので、2試合とも、勝てば、なんと5位まで順位を上げることができます。その後、ニューキャッスルとの、直接対決があるんですけど、延期になっているんですけど、いつ試合ができるのかはわからないんですけど、そこにも勝てば、なんと4位まで順位を上げることができます。ただし、まずはその目先の試合、クリスタルパラス相手に勝つことが目標であるので、そこでしっかりと結果を残せればと思います。では、今回の動画はここまでになりますが、いつも通りチャンネル登録と高評価をよろしくお願いいたします。毎日のように新しいコンテンツをアップロードしていますので、通知をオンにしていただければ、その新しいコンテンツがアップされるたびに見逃すことはないです。